Hi everybody, I'm Shivani Indraji and I take care of BI locally at Microsoft South Africa. And today I'm going to talk to Savation Govender from iSolve. And Savation and I are going to talk about business intelligence and how people essentially get started off in the BI market locally. Okay, hi Savesh.
Hi, how's it going?
Okay, good, thanks, and you?
Not too bad.
Okay. Thanks for agreeing to chat with me today about BI, and essentially I'd like to focus on the aspect of customers ask me this question all the time.
Yeah.
I'd like advice as well. Where do they typically start if they basically don't have a starting point or a baseline for the current environment on any type of business intelligence? So what will they typically start
Exactly.
with?
It certainly is a question that comes up a lot, especially in organizations that don't have a huge BI implementation. What I first say to people is that you don't need to be a technical person or purely technical to get involved in BI. In fact, if you look at what business intelligence actually is, we do need business type people to get involved in business intelligence, because the drive for BI should come from the strategic level.
Okay.
So it's definitely not limited to technical people. But if you are somebody out there like a SQL guy or even a .NET guy, and you've heard that business intelligence has become a bit of a buzzword, how do you get started? What I normally tell people is that there's a lot of great theory out there from guys like Ralph Kimball, and some of his books have been on the market for more than a decade at this time. And they explain what business intelligence is in a very nice, easy to read, non-technical terminology. And of course, some of the other books then take it from there and show you how to design things like star schemas, how you should design the platform for business intelligence depending on what market segment you're in. For example, financial, retail. So I would start with somebody like Ralph Kimball and his books. I think an excellent starting point.
Okay. So in other words, you're saying that tools or buying software or buying different tools and talking to different software vendors is not the approach you typically take.
Now, I wouldn't be too concerned with tools if you're starting off. I would get a fundamental understanding of dimensional modeling theory, and that's just from the technical side.
Yes.
Obviously, you need to understand what your strategic objectives are for your business initially, and then try to align business intelligence in your company with those strategic objectives. So it's really a mix. BI cannot come from the IT department.
Yeah, I agree.
You need a sponsor at the highest level. And I mean, what I'm saying today here is nothing really new. This has been said many times before. So I wouldn't be too concerned with the tool set. I would get an understanding of what you want out of business intelligence, and then perhaps choose a tool set. And if we look at the Microsoft toolset, we've got something in there for everyone. We have a fully comprehensive end-to-end offering, which is quite nice, and the toolset's easy to use as well. It's definitely, in terms of usability, probably the easiest toolset out there to use.
Okay, it's fine. So, crux of the questions, where do you actually start? Do you start down with methodologies and architecture, process modeling, what type of orientated architecture, or do you use top-down, bottom-up approach, and all the different questions? And
it certainly becomes quite daunting. So I would start small. I would get a hold of the theory and an understanding, and I would try to implement something that's more process-centric. Take a business process from within your organization and try to build a BI platform on that. The big bang approach really isn't going to work, because you get these huge 2-year, 3-year projects that are destined to fail, and there's no other. I haven't seen those big projects succeed. So bite a small chunk out of your requirement and adopt a process and build BI around that process, and have your small iterative projects.
Okay.
Obviously, your BI system is a living, evolving system.
That's right.
You don't build it for 6 months and it stops there. So keep that in mind as well. So start small.
Wait, so in other words, also when you start developing, do you say that business have to define the strategy, as you just said, and help define from the top-down process, but developers or technical teams should essentially start to actually develop from a bottom-up design?
In terms of strategy, it should be top-down, but in terms of development, I think we can say that it should be bottom-up. And I don't think you should define your strategy just when you're undertaking a BI project. You should know what your strategy is. Otherwise, I would be worried. But I think it can help you refine it.
Okay.
Not define it, but refine it.
Refine it.
Yes.
Nice way of putting it. Okay, very topical question. A data warehouse within BI, is it essential? Some people currently use data marts and it works very well for them, or may have a different type of data warehouse strategy. What's your take on that? Data warehouse or not, or data marts instead?
I think we've just said that in terms of building, you should maybe build marts, but ideally you want, and I know this is a buzzword, but you want one version of the truth.
Yes.
You want a single point. So I think the aim should be to get to a fully functional operational warehouse, operational in terms of something that encompasses your entire organization. So that should be what you have in mind.
Okay.
And remember that will give you one version of the truth.
Okay, ultimately. So at what point do people actually, does the customer actually start evaluating different tools and technologies then? Once they actually have some bit of architecture understanding of the current environment, or where do they typically start?
I think you can definitely look at your architecture and your underlying design and what the objective should be before you select a tool. Okay. So as I said, there are a lot of tools out there, and what I can say about the Microsoft toolset, I've said that it's easy to use and caters for everything. There's also the perception that maybe Microsoft does not play in the large warehousing space. I think that perception is changing. We've seen some terrific implementations out there, especially for the larger customers, where the Microsoft toolset has proven its capabilities in implementing the larger warehouse. So that perception of it not being able to do so is changing as well.
Okay, thank you. I think you've given me a very good understanding as per where to start and some advice and tips around some type of architecture, and also that tool set and technology is not actually the silver bullet that's going to solve my problem. There's a lot more to think about it there. And and there's a whole lot of things and a whole lot of consultings and partners and training and space that people have as a mechanism to go and find more information, blog sites, etc.
That's the other thing. There are a lot of consultants out there. I would say use them. Get them in and learn from them. That makes it a lot easier to get your guys up to speed within your organization.
Yes.
And that really is why we have consultants, to help the green organization. When I say green, I'm not talking environmentally friendly.
Yes.
I'm saying the organization that hasn't really dipped its toe into the world of BI.
Absolutely.
The consultants are out there to really help you.
Okay, perfect. So thanks again for your time.